What's up with it, ladies and gentlemen? Hopefully you're having a great start of your day. And I just figured I'd come on here and say a little truth. Say things or talk about things that I know about through trial and error, through my own walk, my own testimony. And if you've watched anything that I've may or may not have posted before, then maybe you know a little bit, maybe you know a lot. I'm not really sure. That's between you and the Father. But I'm realizing more and more as the days go forward that people people want to change, but wait, but they don't know how to. They struggle to find the key to get through the door. And that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to be able to give people a way out of their own personal hell, essentially. And maybe what I'll say you'll think could be crazy. I mean, hell, I know that what I speak of is truth, and I still think it's crazy at times because I never would have, or could have imagined how unbelievably real it all is, how undeniably true it all is. And again, you don't have to believe me, but I am I'm someone from a rough background. Like my life started out with death, molestation, poverty, abuse, trauma, embarrassment, insecurity, anxiety, like you name it. And I've probably have a story or two where I can relate. And at one time, I didn't understand why I seem to have went through so much, but I also know now it was for the greater good. It was so the boy could die and the man could be born. And that's what I'm like I'm saying, like talk about is the ability to change. It's possible. It's just about you you committing to the walk, committing to the right answer. And most people don't want the answer. Most people want to just complain and you know gripe and moan about how bad life is instead of actually doing something different. And like you don't have to believe me. I really personally, it's like I care, but I really don't to the extent to where I'm gonna lose my peace or I'm not gonna lose my not gonna lose my faith for your lack thereof. And like I've even, I've lost friends for it. I've argued and lost family for it. But oh wow, that's not a bad game, especially for someone not paying attention. But see that right there, fear. Fear is what's running everything in this system. Fear and division. And in my experience, I know that change for the better is possible if you have faith in the Messiah, in the Christ Jesus, which again, I know that's not his actual name, but that is the name in the common tongue, so that's the name that I would use. But the Messiah spoke about in the New Testament Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I, without a doubt, believe that that is a way to change. That is a way to reach your full potential, to be adopted into the kingdom of heaven, to get yourself out of the hell you've been going through, out of the brokenness, out of the hardship, out of the, just get all those burdens off you. And, you have to have faith in it. That's kind of like the ticket. Like, you have to have faith that a man came, died, and resurrected, because it allows you to, it allows your mind to open up to new possibilities. It allows you to see that we are a lot more than the physical body. We are spiritual beings living in a physical world. And I think that's a big problem in today's system, is that they promote feeding your flesh instead of feeding your spirit. They promote all these different quote unquote answers when in reality they don't know anything. They're just trying to sell you something. Somebody's trying to get you to buy something. Like me, it would be an honor, and an honor, a dream come true, and a blessing if I could make money off of this. But my goal isn't to get financial gain, because I could not care less about the material things at this point in my walk. Now, I'm not going to lie, there are times where the weight gets heavy, just because it's more than just me and my circle. But I know through my faith in Christ, through my walk with Jesus, that I'm going to be okay, that I will get to the finish line, and I will step into glory, the glory that I was always meant to be in. Because like I say, I've already seen the difference. I've already experienced the change in who I once was to who I am now. And like another thing too is, all these different people have all these different answers, yet none of them can change, none of them can grow, none of their trees bear fruit. And that is a big problem to me, because everybody, especially in today's world, everybody claims they got the answer. Everybody claims they know the truth. And I'm not saying they don't know truth, but they don't have the big picture. Everybody's stuck in a position to where they can only see the truth through their point of view, and they don't realize that their point of view is, it's 1% of the whole. Not even 1%. There's billions of us. So yeah, naturally everybody's going to have some truth, but the ability to, that same dude, I can't. Well, where you at? Really? Whenever I'm ready. But like I say, everybody. This guy. But everybody has an ounce of truth. I'm not saying that. It's my belief that every religious denomination has an ounce of truth. But if you're looking for the truth, looking for the way, looking for the answer, Jesus Christ is it. Because, like I say, I've come from a lot darker of a upbringing than I feel most have, or I've survived a lot more than people would ever know or ever will know. And it's no testament to who I am. Like, yes, I've always been a very strong-willed, a very different, but we're all the same in the same way. Like, yeah, I'm different. Yeah, I'm different from everybody, of course, but I'm still only human. I'm still flawed. I do things that I don't want to do, and I don't do the things that I want to do. It's like us as people, we can't help but to become victims of the flesh, become victims of the environment that we're in. And that's why I'm trying to guide anyone who will listen on a way to actually have peace, actually be able to be calm in a storm, eat in front of their enemies, and it's real. Because like I said, like I know I've lost more than I could ever begin to name, but more than I could ever begin to try to explain. But my life is proof that there is truth in what I say because I'm still here. Because I shouldn't be. I don't want to be. But at the same time, I do. I want to help people. I want to lead people to find peace, lead people to find a sound mind, lead people to find the change that they crave and that they're looking for. But, and again, I'm not saying don't believe anything just because you hear it from somebody online or anybody in person. I mean, test your, test what I say. Test the, test the fruit of my tree, if you would. Because again, really, two of y'all? What? Mm. But like I say, I've met many people, come across many people. I've hurt many people, but I've also helped many people at this point. I've learned the error of my ways and I have been able to find that change that it seems so difficult to find for others. Because again, us as humans, we are we're flawed. We fall short. We hurt the people we care about. We miss the mark. And I'm trying to hopefully, now again, I mean, take or leave it. I mean that's it's on you. It's your choice. I'm not gonna force anybody to believe what I believe. But I know that through my walk I have found peace. I know through my walk that even though I am in the midst of I'm always in the midst of a storm it seems. But I'm still, and don't get me wrong, like I have good days, I have bad days. But still there's wow, that was a horrible game. But there's still a certain calmness that I experience now that is like no other. To the point to like, okay, for example, right now I'm financially, I am tight ain't even the word for it at this point. Man, I swear, some people. But like just to list a few, I mean I don't have insurance on my car, my tags are bad, I needs an inspection. I'm 65 grand in debt to the hospital. My mortgage is behind, my power is behind, my I owe money out. Like any way that you could think is, I mean, it's it could be a burden if I allowed it to be. But through my faith in my walk with Christ and the faith that I have in the Messiah, I I know it's going to work out for me because I've seen it time and time again. When I was knocked off my motorcycle by a hit and run car and I should have died, there was no fear in me because that I knew that I'd be taken care of. And when that happened, my motorcycle was my only vehicle. That's all I have. I was daily driving a motorcycle for a year and a half to work. Rain, cold, I mean, I was on it. I dealt with it. I've been through it. And then after that incident, I was gifted with 2 vehicles out of that situation and enough money to be able to catch my bills up because I couldn't work. Like, I work in construction, and I mean, I didn't miss a lot of time, but I think maybe 3 months, maybe. They said it should have been at least 6 to 7. Actually, no, that's a lie. They said that my injury usually was destroyed my whole wrist, and that injury usually takes 9 to 12 months to heal. I was at work in 3 months. My first motorcycle wreck, I didn't even go to the hospital. I missed 1 day and I was back at work. I was limping around, my hands were bandaged up, but I was there working because I've I've always been poor. I was born into poverty. Like, I was 5, 6 years old having to dumpster dive for or with my mother. We was getting evicted out of houses nonstop. We was moving every 6 months to a year on, every it was consistent. Only the longest I was at a school when I was a child was 2 years. But then into 6th grade, I moved in with my father and, it got a little different. But, I'm used to being financially strapped down. But growing up poor, it taught me that you can't allow that to strip your peace of mind, to take away from you. And if it was just me, I wouldn't even care about my situation. Just the fact that now I know that there is I have a bigger circle that they need me out. It's not like I got people who live with me, but more than just that, there's people who seek my domain as a refugee or a refuge for when they're going through stuff. And, of course, I, like I say, I know it's going to work out. It's just a matter of when. And of course, it's in those seasons of trials that, but it's in those seasons of trials that, it's hard not to doubt. It's natural. I mean, we're human. We're going to doubt. We're going to. I'm so sorry. You can't hear me, but I said it. Yeah, understandable. But in the seasons when you're stuck waiting, because that's the whole thing. Most people are they're trying to control their life, not realizing that we don't have any control to begin with. Control's an illusion. Same thing with like free will. Either way, you're serving somebody. You're either serving light or dark, serving the flesh, or you're serving the spirit. And we have to decide. We have to choose because if we don't, we're going to we're going to continue to fall as a species. But two, like, man, y'all like the irritability I feel from oh these freaking clowns who I bet they think they're so good too. But I know that I what I've experienced is true. I know that I've experienced change. I know that I have like I say, there's some doubts that come to mind just because it's natural for humans to doubt. It's natural for humans to be worried, be skeptical, be to overthink, to worry, any of those things. It's natural. But at the same time, I know that there's a certain level of peace that I've experienced that will never go away. That no matter what enters my life, I will survive. And I think that's the biggest thing is being able to survive and live with yourself, not just survive on the fact of like, oh yeah, I'm alive. Like, no, it's more than that. It's surviving with the peace of mind. It's having a sound heart. It's being able to give your energy to show up for those you care about rather than use all your energy to survive. So most people are only surviving. But see, me, I'm at a point where I'm living. I'm growing. I'm seeking change. I'm seeking a different walk than what everybody else seems to be doing. Again, we're all misguided. We all need help. No one has all the answers. But us as a people, we're getting further and further from where we're supposed to be. I'm about to leave this match because these dudes are clowns. Oh! But again, it's one of those things too where everybody thinks they got it. They figured out life. And I mean, yeah, I can hear it's like, oh, yeah, you're doing the same thing. But no, it's my proof is in the pudding. I have been broken. I have been lost. I have been hurt. I have been destroyed. I have been doubtful. And like I say, I still have some doubts, but nowhere near like who I used to be. And like I say, I'm a person who I don't do things I don't want to do. I don't follow the crowd. I don't believe the hype. Like I say, when it comes to my relationship with Christ, I had to do some work. I had to really see if it was true. I've been putting it to the test every single day nonstop. That's why, like, yeah, in my walk, like, wow, that was horrible accuracy. But like I say, since I was let go, but also, I mean, he tried to give me the job back, and I rejected it. So I've been let go, but technically I quit at the end of the day. But since that's happened, I have been presented with 5 job opportunities, but each one of them has been I would be settling. Like I would be like, and they're all. I mean, it's all got to be in construction, of course, because that's the thing. Like that's what I'm good at, but that's what I don't like that. Like I don't enjoy it. I don't want to do it because it's hard. People don't realize how hard that kind of stuff is, how taxing it is on your body, how heavy of a load it can be if you allow it. And again, you don't have to believe me. I know I'm just somebody on the internet, and there's plenty of us. There's a plethora of us. But at the same time, I know that the fact that I'm still here surviving is proof and that what I say is truth. Just like that name says, there's no limit to what Christ can do. There's no limit to the depth and understanding that you can gain if you would just, like, how do you not check your left and right when you come in? Like, people's damn perceptions are slow. People are just slow in general. But I know that there's proof in the pudding to what I say because every day that I'm here is a testament to what I know. Because I don't want to be here. I don't enjoy the game of life. I don't enjoy the drugs. I don't enjoy the women. I don't enjoy the material. I don't enjoy the bills. I don't enjoy the politics. I don't enjoy the entertainment. I don't enjoy like the whole system is like it's against who I am as a person, as a soul. And that's the thing that we all have to realize. We are souls. And that's why there's certain things like that's why when you get heartbroken, it hits you different than when you cut yourself. suppressor. But, everybody wants to push an answer, but they can't back up what they say. They can't put up or shut up. And that's why, like I say, I'm hoping that, hold on. I'm hoping that somebody, or anyone, will just take a second and be like, wait a minute, maybe there is something there. It's like I say, I've been through it. I'm still going through it. We never stop going through it, for starters. But nobody's trees are bearing fruit. Everybody's talking the talk. Everybody's saying they got the answer, they got this, they got that. They know the truth, but they're still miserable. They still cannot change no matter how bad they want to. They see the problem. They see that they need to change, but they can't. Why? Like, and that's that right there. That's the most important thing that we can ask is why? Because we're all here to learn, but we're in this new world that they make it so it's like we're ashamed to ask. Instead of realizing it's like, yeah, this is why we're here. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to adapt. We're here to evolve. We're here to figure out why we do the things that we do. And if you can't change, you won't survive at all. Like not even in the slightest. And some of you are like, I can change by myself, and go ahead, believe what you want to. But to those of you who've tried to change and they still can't, they still are falling short of that mark that they're aiming for themselves, then take what I say. Give your faith to Jesus Christ, and you will be able to change. Now, the whole thing is don't just say it. That's not how it works. You have to come to Him in spirit. You have to come to Him in truth. Be truthful who you are, because our Father in heaven already knows what you do, already knows how you fall short. He already sees. Well, it's not really He. It's probably, that's because both male and feminine. It takes two to make the one. But anyways, just for the fact that I'm a male, I say He. But He knows that you need help. He knows that you ain't got the answer. So coming to Him and trying to lie and trying to BS, like, that don't make sense. But if you're tired, if you're broken, if you have burdens, if you have all these weights, then try something different. Try to listen to a stranger. 'Cause I know that's all I am. I'm a stranger to you, your walk, your journey, your mission, your marathon, essentially. We're all running a race. Most people are trying to run it like it's a sprint, not realizing it is a marathon. It's the long game we're playing. And if you don't do something different and find a way to change, you will die. We're gonna die either way, but you'll die in your misery. You'll die in your sins. You will die 1,000,000 times over in your life, and you'll never live. Like, that's the whole thing. People's like, oh, we're all gonna die, but yeah, no, we die every time. Every time you lose a friend, lose a family member because of misunderstanding, that's death. You're losing things that matter. Or losing a girl, losing a child because of misunderstanding, like that That was kind of that agitated me. I should have won that one. But that's that's the thing with this game is that we all have to admit that we don't know anything in order to know something. Come on, I know I just seen a body. At least I thought I did. Oh, there it was. But like I say, it's one of those things that don't believe me. It's your life. It's your soul. It's a personal relationship. Only you can save your soul. Only you can change yourself. Only you can grow. Only you can adapt. Only you can. You have to live with your decisions. I don't have to live with your choices. You do. And I know he is pissed because I know I would be. But like I'm saying, only you can. You live with yourself every day. And if you don't find a way to change and find a way to grow, find a way to adapt, find a way to become better than who you are, become better than who you ever thought you could be. Like I say, like I've experienced unbelievable things. I am a walking miracle. I am a living testimony of the power of Christ, of the fact that if you put faith in Jesus, he won't let you down. If you come to him in spirit, you come to him in truth. You repent from your ways, if you adapt and become different than what you were taught. Again, all of us, we all have an ounce of truth, but none of us can see the full picture. Once you come to the Father through Christ, you see like that right there, like I am dead inside. Like what kind of life is that? What kind of existence would that be? Like it's like I'm sure, yeah, he can play this game all day and he I killed him in his own kill cam. But he can say what he wants to, but being dead inside, it's like you're in hell. You're like people like, yeah, okay, they might be fine whenever you talk to them for a little bit, but when you get by yourself, are you really okay? Or does your mind start to win? Does life get too heavy to where you blow up on people? Does your cluttered mind and your broken heart pour out into your life to the point where you're hurting those who mean the most? For most people, that is the case. But it doesn't have to be. Like we all need help. We all need change. We all need guidance. Excuse me. And even me, I am I'm still always in a consistent student teacher relationship with my reality. I always am open to learning and open to adjusting my beliefs. But no matter how much I've learned, no matter how much I've grown and changed for the better, I might add, because most everybody changes, but it's always for the worse. I'm talking about change for the better. Change to where you have peace of mind, sound heart, where you're not hurting people, where you're not having misunderstandings all the time, where you're living life to its fullest capabilities. No matter what, the faith that I have in Jesus Christ has never let me down. I've never fallen further than what I could afford. Now I've been pushed far. Like I can't even begin to express the unbelievable weights that I've had to carry. But we don't get stronger unless we carry heavier weight. We don't learn unless we're broke a little bit. You can't you can't You can't hold on to your blessings if you're too busy. You can't grab your blessings if you're too busy holding on to your past. You can't become who you truly are if you're too busy trying to stay who you used to be. Huh, that one hit a little close to home. Cause like that's the thing, like me, I'm not gonna lie, I highly enjoy smoking weed. Just because I have a very active mind. I have a very active thought process. I overthink. Like I say, I have doubts. Like there's a lot of hardships that I've had to endure in order to become the man that I am. And everybody can claim to be a man or claim to be a woman, claim to be grown, and that's the big thing, claiming to be grown. But it's all crap. Like try what people say and you'll see very quick that they're not grown. You can see somebody very quick who they are by their actions. That's what I mean when I say, the fruit my tree bears. You can tell by my actions that I am who I say I am. There is none in my life who can say or do anything that makes me question that anymore because I know what I know is truth. I know what I've experienced is too real to. I can never go back to who I used to be. I couldn't survive that life. I didn't survive that life. That's why I had to come and put faith in Jesus Christ because I mean, in okay, restart. Symbolically, I blew my brains out. Now, again, it's a dark thing to say, but I had to find. Oh, come on, man! I've done it, but like I say, that kid died. Like, okay, so again, example, I have my little sister living with me. I got her man living with me, and I got their child living with me. Younger, okay, so my government name is Shane. So younger Shane, ain't no damn way I would have ever let them. No way. I couldn't have handled it. I couldn't have added the weight to my already very difficult walk. My walk has been very different. I have been very isolated. I've been fortunate because I've been able to grow in unimaginable ways, but I've been destined to be different. And I realize that more and more as I continue my walk, as I make changes, as I let go of anything that's slowing me down in my race. We're all in our own race, and every one of us is going to eventually hit the finish line. But we got to survive to get there. We have to drop and let go and change whatever is stopping us from getting to that point. And that's the issue. It's like, man, people can see the ways that they want to change. They can see that they need to change, but for some reason they can't. And then same thing I've pointed out before, it's like, okay, when it comes to the character of Jesus Christ, right? Why is that the only name that is constantly ridiculed, constantly mocked? Like even 2024 Olympics, that was a big one. Like they full on mocked the Last Supper with a bunch of transgender, and don't get me wrong, I don't have nothing against the alphabet people, but we're misguided. We're missing our mark. People don't realize that things are things are okay. How about this? There are rules to the game. Same thing like you play basketball. If you learn the rules, game's fun. You can become good at it. Rules and fundamentals. That right there is what that matters a lot. Matters a great deal. But most people are just everybody's trying to play the game, but they don't know the rules. They're trying to play the game, but they ain't learned the fundamentals behind it. They don't realize that there are laws put in place for a reason. Because that's again, it's like you can't there's no way that you can succeed in a game without playing it the right way. Like that's just the way it is. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. But and I mean, of course, no one wants to nobody wants to follow rules, but people don't realize that everybody, and that's a big thing too. I was like, oh, I don't want to be a slave to it. By default, we're all slaves. We're slaves to our desires. We're slaves to our attachments. We're slaves to anything that has power over us in the physical reality. And I mean, it could be anything. It could be anything that you love, anything that you put any type of weight on has power. And if it has power over you, if it can bring you out of your character, then you're losing. Especially as a man, in my opinion. But on either side of the spectrum, it's like we all need to figure out what we're doing wrong. Where is he? But we're all missing the point. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to change. But in today's world, they've promoted this message that you don't need to change. You don't need to grow. You don't need to do this, that, and the third. You're okay how you are. But that's because they want you to be trapped here. They want you to be trapped in your own personal hell. They want you to, excuse me, they want you to keep falling short of your mark, and they want you to stay in a fallen state to the point that you don't realize that you're made in the Father's image. You're made in the Creator's image. We're here to create, but we live in a system that's designed for us to consume. And you're not going to be able to change. You're not going to be able to get out of that system or break out of this matrix that we live in unless you do something different. Try Jesus Christ. Try the Messiah. Reach out spiritually. Find that strength. Find your purpose. I think that's why a lot of people are so beaten down, is that people don't have purpose anymore. People they don't have they don't have understanding is a big one, but they don't like I say, they don't know the rules of the game. Like we're playing a game, like that's what I think this life is. It's just a game. We're put here to love, be unified, to be compassionate, to self-sacrifice in order for the greater good. And you realize that as you do that, you become the greater good. You become better. You become more. You just become more. Like you really do. But you can't do that unless you're adopted back into the kingdom. We have to remember who we are. We have to remember that we're creators. We have to remember that we're one with our source. But you can't remember unless you forget. You can't be lifted up unless you fall. You can't appreciate the mountaintops unless you go through the valleys. And that's why we all start off in this fallen state. Like, everybody's worried about the Neuralink chip and, this, that, and the third, that's going to be the mark of the beast. People don't realize our physical body is the mark of the beast. In my study, in my opinion, that is what it is. We are born into a fallen state. We are born into a state of confusion, a state of delusion, a state of brokenness. And if we don't, as a whole, find the reasoning behind it, we will never, ever begin to wake up. We will never begin to experience this game for what it actually can be. And that's why, that's the reason why I'm here talking. That's the reason why I'm trying. And look at that, I got 2 kills while scratching my nose. But that's why I'm trying to promote the message of Christ, so that way you can experience life to its fullest. That way you can experience the peace that you're supposed to experience. That way you can become a beneficiary of truth. Universal truth, not perspective truth. I think that's a big issue. We all have a fraction of the truth, so that's why we all think we're right. We all think we know the answers. We're all know-it-alls. That's a damn problem. Everybody's a know-it-all, but nobody knows it all. Nobody does. And to say that you do, you're ignorant. You're brainwashed. You will never learn. You will never grow. You will never change. You will never become the man or woman you were meant to be. And you're only going to receive that through the strength that comes from the Father, from being adopted back into the kingdom. And you don't get adopted back into the kingdom unless you're known by the Son. The Son has to know you. You have to know Him. No sin or ignorance goes before our Heavenly Father. It's not how it works. So in order to go before Him and to reestablish that connection, we have to have a mediator. We have to have someone to not speak on our behalf, but to I mean, in a way, just someone to get us in the door. After you're in the door, you're adopted into the kingdom. You gain authority in Christ. But you have to step up, or you will fall. You will never grow. You will never change. You will never establish the authority that you have over this system and over this world that we live in. We are greater than the world. He that is in us is greater than he that is in us is greater than the world. He beat the world. He was able to overcome it. And you can through that relationship, through that power, through that acknowledgement that you're fallen, you're missing the mark, you need help, you need answers. But it's personal. Only you can do it. Same thing with forest fires. Only you can prevent forest fires. Only you can save your soul. But you have to have the conversation with Him. You have to spiritually go inside of yourself. That's where the kingdom of heaven is. It's inside of us. It's definitely not outside of us. It's not in a church. You're not going to find it in church. You're not going to find it in, wherever, the bar, wherever, any places you think you might find an answer. You're not going to, unless it's inside of yourself. You have to find and reach out to the Christ. Again, everybody can become a Christ. But there is the Christ, the top dog. And that's the Messiah who came. That's the man that they continuously mock and bash and laugh at, and they try to lessen His authority There you go. That's the word I was looking for. They try to lessen his authority in the kingdom. Because, even back in the Hebrew heritage, the son, we call someone son, it's more than just like what we are now. It's the nature of the father. You are like your father in nature. So he is the one who came and he look at there, but he is the one who came and he played the game like it should be. He embodied love, he embodied compassion, he embodied change, he embodied self-sacrifice, unconditional love. And if you embody unconditional love, you just get to experience a whole different world. But you have to come to him in spirit and truth. You have to acknowledge that you're a flawed human, that you do fall short, that you're ignorant of some things. So because you're ignorant, you sin. You miss the mark. And because of that, I'm trying to help you see the bigger picture behind it all. Because once you commit to your walk and once you start to repent of your flesh self, one, you realize that you're already a servant to your flesh. You're a slave to your flesh. You become a servant for Christ, but you're a slave to your flesh. Servant, it's more willfully. Either way, your free will is an illusion. You're not going, either way, you serve one master or the other. So either you can accept the truth, accept change, and be adopted back into the kingdom, or you can serve yourself, do exactly what Lucifer did and be proud. Try to put yourself above the Most High God, above the Creator who sent His Son to help us reconnect into that domain, into that power, into that authority. But again, the choice is yours. But thanks for listening. I'm gonna hop off here. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please comment, and do all of it. I want to interact with as many people as virtually possible while I'm still on this planet. So I don't know, there's just a part of me that thinks I'm not gonna be here as long as most people. There's just something about it. Something about what I've learned, something about what I've been through, something about how tired my soul already is. But I could be wrong, because I know that I'm a very strong individual, and I know that there's nothing that can stop me at this point. But like I say, question, comments, concerns, hit them, like it, subscribe for me. But just love one another. Love yourself more, though. Love yourself so you can love others. That's what you have to do that. You have to show up for yourself so you can show up for those you care about. So if you lose yourself, you will lose everything else in the process. I can tell you that from experience. Hence why I came to Christ. I lost the one person that I felt could understand me. And it broke me. It killed Shane. But it rebirthed the man that I am. It just, I don't know, there's not enough words. Like it can't be expressed through words. It's something that you have to feel. But thanks for listening. May the Father bless you. Peace.